cold-blooded, I think, kind of works, Steve. Appreciate you randomizing the tracks in a not-so-random way. Got it. Hanging out with Mark Lesicka, Float Spa, San Diego. Mark's got a little brown sugar. Mark, you're a little brown sugar, aren't you? No? No brown sugar? No, he's just shaking his head. No, it doesn't quite fit. I'll tell you what does fit, though, is if you are in the headspace right now and you're thinking to yourself, man, I wouldn't mind having an opportunity to unplug, to, grab a little Timothy Leary, tune in, turn on, and just drop out. Get yourself an opportunity to turn off the chatter that's inside your mind. Who knows? Maybe you can go there with a little meditation. Maybe you can sit in a little comfy pillow in your living room every morning, or maybe not. Maybe you're like Mark and I, have a tough time kind of turning out all that chatter and noise and give ourselves the much-needed reprieve to be able to focus, to be able to get really clear about what's important. I know for me, there was a physical element of floating. Like I have a little shoulder thing, and it's like a little tweak. And I came out of there feeling like $1 million, man. I don't know what it was, but there was a lot of good juju that came out of my float session. And if you're in that spot right now, Mark is inviting you up to Float Spa San Diego. You can check him out online first and maybe make sure it's right for you. Or you can call him and talk to Mark yourself at 858-279-3301. Who else, by the way, likes to float? You can name drop any frequent floaters? Got any frequent floater miles?
Yeah, I think the people that really get what's going on with their bodies are professional athletes. I mean, these guys are looking for anything for the edge. And, we've had in the UFC, we've had Chris Lieben.
Okay.
He was in there 90 minutes, pretty much every week trying to recover from, it's just obviously a rough sport. And, Chris loved floating. Did amazing things for his body. Then you've got Miles Jury was another UFC fighter that out of Temecula would come in there. Tyson Ross pitches for the Padres, a friend of mine. One of the things he told me, he was heading back up to his hometown when season was over, and he called me up, and he just wanted to call and tell me that he'd never been that focused in his entire career. He said,
wow.
I just felt like it trained my brain to sit out there on the mound and just tune out whatever good, bad, or indifferent was going on in the crowd and just focus on the catcher. And it was almost like a switch at the end of the season. So we lost him as a client because he bought a tank and now has one at home. So fell in love with floating. But,
you might have said you gained a client for life then.
We have.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it was, if somebody gets hooked on floating and buys one, I think it's the best thing that can happen because it's a game changer. And then they're going to go and tell other people. So.
Yeah. And not everybody can afford a tank like Tyson, so the rest of them will just be referrals for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, so then, Mark Devine, for those of you that have never met or don't know or maybe haven't read any of his books, Mark wrote a book called The Way of the SEAL and The Unbeatable Mind.
Mark is
Mark's the retired ex-Navy SEAL commander, 20 years. The guy's just an amazing guy, owner of SEAL Fit. Mm-hmm. I believe he's taken the failure rate, or I should say the success rate on the Navy SEALs training because of his program from a 30% pass to 80 or 90%. It's just been blow away because Mark really understands, the thinking side of things. And Mark, in his book, The Way of the SEAL, talks about if you really want to get into all the skill set that he's talking about in that book that you can teach and train yourself. If you want to accelerate it, find a sensory deprivation tank, and that is the quickest path.
So well said. And, the consciousness that I'd like to sprinkle on it is, we're talking about, Tyson Ross of the Padres or Chris Lee, UFC or Mark Devine, like retired Navy SEAL, I don't know what his rank was or whatever, but he was basically the dude. You know what I mean? Or, find yourself in that same wisdom of saying you don't have to be a world-class athlete to get the benefits of that, You could be a CPA, who needs to turn the numbers off once in a while. Or you could just be, like, for example, like my wife went up there. She's pregnant, right now. So we're happy about that. But the body, not too stoked on being pregnant,
Exactly.
And so the float thing was an amazing opportunity for her to get weightless and to be able to have an opportunity to not feel the pregnancy, for an hour. And that was huge for her. So you can see, the spectrum could apply. Is there anybody that wouldn't apply to?
We have everything from moms, stay-at-home dads, people that are, again, we just live in a world that's just hurry up and do things a little faster. And so it's kind of like a staycation, 1 hour. Sometimes I get out of there and I feel like I've been gone for 2 weeks.
And we want you, Stash Nation, to be able to experience that same thing by checking Mark out at Float Spa San Diego. By the way, if they mention the secret stash when they come up and they meet you for the first time, you have any offer that you'd like to give them?
Yeah, we were talking about that at the break, and I just want to extend the lowest offer we've ever done as an introductory offer is $35. It'll save you $40 off the session.
Wow.
Mention that you heard it here, and my staff will take care of you.
$35, your first session. Mark Lesicka, Float Spa San Diego, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you coming in, leaving Stash Nation a little better than how you found you. Any parting comments for your fans?
I just think, whatever it is for you, I think, we all need to find a way to slow down a little bit, get centered, spend more time with the people you love, make all the difference in the world. Well said, my man. Mark Lesicka, Float Spa San Diego. Check him out at floatspasandiego.com or call him at 858-279-3301. And thank you guys for hanging out for another Tuesday mid-morning of The Secret Stash. We'll see you guys back here next week. Thanks for hanging out.